My name is Peter Rice, and I'm currently serving on the pastor search team. And just to give you an idea, there are 8 people on the pastor search team, and Nancy is one of them. I am the other, and we also have Kathleen Quinn, Adina Ng, Mark DeCoste, Jonathan Leo, Mark Schofield, and Ernie Anderson. Now, both Mark and Ernie are the 2 elders that are on the committee, I can't say that word committee, I guess that's a bad word these days, team. But first I want to just talk by, starting out by saying that this is probably one of the best teams that I've ever served on. And the reason behind that, I believe, just having served on a lot of teams before, is that any foundation of a team really starts with trust. Each of the people on the team have to trust each other. If you don't trust each other, then the lasting results will not come. They won't. There'll be a lot of fighting and bickering and parking lot conversations, that kind of thing. So that's what you don't want in a team. So early on with this team, we've learned how to trust each other, and that has served us well. We put a lot of stuff on the table, and we're very honest about where we are with candidates and things of that nature, and what we have as far as our feelings go on certain things. And there was so many hours put in, so much hard work and hours put into each of the members. But I really want to point out a special member of the group, and that is Kathleen Quinn. Where are you, Kathleen? She's not going to like me for this, but I really want to recognize Kathleen. She's the behind-the-scenes person that really is the glue to this group and this team, and she's put countless of many hours keeping us on track and on target when we want to go astray. So a special thanks to Kathleen and all the hard work that she's done for this group. I just want to recognize her. And I can't praise enough for each of the members who are, quite frankly, very fun to work with. It's a lot of work, but we have fun doing it. And so far, we've gone through over 130 resumes. And if you think about that, that's 130 potential pastors for other churches. It's not just, somebody looking for a job. So for each of these candidates, there are times when we really just stand back in awe and say, this pastor may not be a fit for our church, but someday this pastor could be a fit for another church. And so we've taken time at times to pray for these individuals, because this potentially 130 different churches that can be affected here. So it's not just somebody looking for a job. And so right now we've carefully gone through these 130 resumes. Some of them, as John mentioned, are quite interesting. Some of them are interesting, but one of them that I thought was very interesting was one that was handwritten, 5 pages, handwritten resume. Who does that, right? I mean, that's amazing. And have you heard of a printer? But I was impressed. I've never gotten a resume handwritten before. But I think one of the unique things that we did was of the 130, we boiled it down to 10 candidates. And one thing that we did was, sort of leveraging technology these days, is we had them submit to us a video of them answering a few questions that we had for each of the candidates. And this did a couple of things. One, it helped us understand, they didn't even know technology at all, right? And the other thing is to save some time for the committee to go through a lot of these different candidates. Well, we sent out 10 of them, and 7 of them responded with videos. And out of those, so we could sit back and listen to this, these different videos. It was great. We listened to it a few times. And out of 7 of those, we boiled it down to 4 candidates. And then we spend time interviewing each of these candidates on teams of either 2 or 4. And from what I hear, that's kind of unusual for a pastor search committee. And the reason why we did this is because there is a different dynamic when you interview somebody at 2-on-1, or maybe it's no more than 4, because you get that personal connection with that individual. It takes a lot more time to do it, but it's much more fruitful. And the interesting thing is when we get comments back from some of these candidates, they say, wow, this was harder than my ordination. And it's a testament to the search group, to their tenacity of really wanting to making sure that whichever candidate we have and we present to the elders, that this is going to be through all kinds of prayer and through just the hard work of going through each of these many, many, many hours of sermons. That's the great thing about the internet. You can go on, you can listen to many, many hours of sermons, and just to make sure that this person is a right fit for our church.
So then from there, we continued the vetting process, and we've met these candidates face to face, bringing them to the fellowship to tour, asking deep, probing questions about faith, family, theology. It's been such an interesting and growing process for me and for all of us, especially since my questions might have to do with relationships and church community and relevant sermons, whereas some might be a little bit more deeper into theology. So very thankful for the group that we have, thankful to God. So what will be next? We'll present our choice candidate to the elders and then to the church family. We would be looking for a consensus to be reached with both. And let me think, what else did I want to say here? Oh, after 22 years here at the fellowship, Pastor Bernie, I just saw him somewhere, there he is. Pastor Bernie is known as a legacy pastor, so there's a little known facts that I'm learning. So anyway, take every chance you can possibly do to thank Pastor Bernie and to connect with him, okay? And then basically it boils down to he would, after consensus to be reached with both, he would stop preaching before our new pastor comes on board. And so the question is, why would he do that? But Pastor Bernie recently attended a conference from IPM Ministries, Interim Pastor Ministries, and he explained at our last budget meeting that of just such an importance of a gap time between a legacy pastor and a new senior pastor. So that was educating. Thanks, Barney, on that. But it's more along the lines for the health of the church and a smoother transition. So during that gap time, we'll use our own elders, our missionaries to be speakers during that time. And we will continue to communicate with the church. Sometimes people like emails, sometimes people like face-to-face, so we will continue to do both and just continue to keep our search team, the final candidates, and our elders in prayer. Thank you.